Hey guys, welcome back to Furniture Flipping Teacher. It's Lauren here, and I am a full-time kindergarten teacher who flips furniture on the side that you guys know I used to put toward my student loan debt, but now we are saving up for a down payment on a house, as well as continuing to raise some money to help some teachers pay off their student loan debt, as well as support them in their classrooms. Thank you guys for being here. Today, we are going to be flipping this dresser and nightstand set, and I'm super excited because we are gonna go bold again. So stay tuned to figure out what the end result is gonna be. We're gonna also be using some melange paint. Usually my first step is to take off the hardware, but as you can see, there's no hardware on these guys. So the first step is gonna be to clean. So I'm gonna be using Super Clean here today. And again, you just want a degreasing cleaner, so any cleaner that's gonna cut grease is gonna be fine. You can use Dawn dish soap, crud cutter, etc. I'll link this down below. It's a great degreaser. I actually forgot to tell you guys that I got these on Facebook Marketplace for $75, so a little bit of a higher buy-in, but I am confident, since it is a set, that I will definitely get my monies back and that we will also be able to make a pretty good profit. They are on great rollers. There's minimal damage to the outside that I'll just fix up and we'll be able to sell them. I'll wipe everything off one time, and then the second time will just be a rinse to get all that cleaner off. We're just gonna clean all the dirt and grime and oil and grease off here so that the paint can adhere well to the surface of the furniture. And I'm gonna go ahead and pop these drawers out. So not only did I get these on Facebook Marketplace, but also we've got a storage unit now. And actually we've got 2 storage units now, and so these have been in our storage unit for several months now, and so of course they're going to collect dust over time, and definitely want to get all that dust off as well. All right, so now that our cleaning is finished up, we're gonna go ahead and do some sanding. I've got my Surf Prep sander, 150 grit. Again, you can always do this with a different sander, an orbital sander. That is fine too, but link is down below in the description if you're interested. Surf Preps are awesome. I've also got my Festool vacuum dust extractor, and that's just gonna help suck away all the dust so I have less cleanup after. So all I'm gonna be doing is just a scuff sand to smooth and I say smooth and roughen everything up, and I know that's a little bit contradicting. Smooth it out, meaning if there's any scratches, I'll smooth those out, but roughen it up, meaning kind of just take away the finish and the gloss and allow the paint to grab on to something. So that's what we're gonna do now. It's a little bit muggy out here. Whew. Sanding is all finished. Now we're gonna wipe everything back with my microfiber cloth and get to some priming. Okay, let's get to primer. All right, I haven't told you the color that I'm doing yet, but I am gonna tell you it is a shade of red. And there is a reason why I'm gonna be using the gray primer, and that is because red tends to show up better. Since it's such a pigmented color, it tends to show up better on a gray primer as opposed to a white primer. I haven't done all the research, but I just know that that's the case. Why? But anyway, that is the reason I'm going to go ahead and use the gray primer. My favorite method, again, is to do the roller. I put a foil piece in my paint tray already, pour a little bit of primer in there, and get going. So probably one of my most asked questions is, when do you know if it's a good idea to prime? I've said this before, I always go by when in doubt, prime it out, because primer ultimately is going to help prep your piece to make that paint adhere. And also another reason to prime is in case you think that your wood stain or any wood tannins may pop through. On this specific one, I did end up kind of going down under that finish, so I know that there's a big possibility that this color is gonna pop through. I'm gonna be using a darker color, but I just don't wanna risk anything popping through and ruining the finish. So I always take the extra step and just prime. Primer is inexpensive. And not only that, but it also kind of helps give you that first layer. If you do have raw wood, I would definitely recommend priming because it's going to give you that layer of protection against the raw wood. I would just recommend prime, prime, prime. Priming is finished, so that's of course got to dry before we do anything else. So let's let that dry. So before I put the paint on, I decided that since I'm gonna be adding hardware to this piece, that I'm gonna do that before I paint, because I tend to kind of see some damage that goes on when I am using my punch locator with the hardware. It kind of ruins the paint in a way, so I always have to go back and touch it up. So I figured, why not do it before I put the paint on? And then it'll save me from having to touch up later. I'm not gonna tell you what color, but I am gonna tell you, because I'm doing holes, that I'm gonna be doing some 10-inch bar handles on the longer drawers, and then I'm gonna be doing one knob on the smaller drawers. So here we go. You guys, this punch locator is seriously a game changer when it comes to hardware. I'll kind of walk you through it a little bit. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you are in the middle of your drawer, and I have a piece right here on the underside that's kind of showing me where that middle is, so I don't really have to measure because I can see that over here. So here's my middle, and then you're going to go ahead and set this into the middle where it comes to 0 inches. And then from there, you'll move the middle of these two to half of your hardware. So I'm doing a 10-inch, so I'm gonna do half, so to 5 inches, that's where I want one hole. And from the middle, 5 inches the other way, that's where I want my other hole. So it's as simple as that. And then this down here moves up and down as well. And that's gonna help you get yours in the middle of your actual drawer as well. So middle, middle, middle. And then again, we're just gonna kind of line it up here. This has been such a joy to have, honestly, because then I don't have to worry about my new hardware going on straight. I just know that it's gonna go on straight. I've used this a handful of times now, and I would not recommend doing new hardware without this anymore, because I know that I really struggled with placing hardware and making sure it was straight and all the above. I highly recommend you get one of these if you like putting on new hardware. It just makes it so much easier. And then your drill fits right inside of these holes. I don't know if this is actually how you're supposed to do it, but I like it because it keeps it right there. You could draw a dot in there as well, that would work, but this is the way that I've found that works. All right, so for the smaller drawers, I was planning on doing a 10-inch bar for these as well, but then I thought about it and I placed it and I was like, I don't know, a 10-inch bar on these just seems like a little bit much. And unfortunately, I didn't think about that until literally 5 minutes ago. So therefore, I didn't end up getting a bar to kind of match the ones that I'm going to be doing on here, a smaller one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using some other hardware that's actually the T-bars, and I'm going to be matching the color. So basically I'm going to be spray painting everything one color that all goes together to match the two, the bar and the small one. My last step before the paint goes on is to just sand down and smooth out the primer and also where these hardware holes were. Drum roll! For the color, we are going to be using Melange again, Mesa Red. So this again is very bold. It's kind of it reminds me, I guess, of like a pretty deserty tone. And this is hopefully going to complement the color of hardware that I chose out as well. But you guys know how much I am just loving Melange paint right now. It's self-leveling. It is a small business from Texas. I highly recommend you guys try it out. And I've got a code for you. If you type in FLIP10 at checkout, you will get 10% off of all Melange products from their website. They also do free shipping over $75, so you cannot go wrong with their products. I highly recommend. This is, even for beginners, this is a perfect paint to get started with. They've got top coats, they've got paint, they've got brushes. Hopefully this brush will get back in stock. It is back in stock, but you guys loved this brush last time I used it, and I told you this is my favorite style of brush. I'm gonna pour it into a separate container because this brush, I love it, but you know, doesn't fit inside of their jars. So that's totally fine. That's why I have a separate can. Another good thing to do is to put this in a separate container because you can eliminate any foreign objects that may get into the actual paint itself. Here we go. Alrighty, the first coat is all finished up here and it looks like it's great coverage. I'm gonna have to do a second coat because I still see a little bit of gray popping through, but that's to be expected. The coverage is literally amazing. This was full, but now it's like more than halfway full, and I just covered 3 pieces, a dresser and 2 nightstands, 2 drawers on each nightstand and 4 drawers on the dresser. You guys, this paint is amazing. Amazing, amazing. We'll be back for coat number 2 tomorrow. We're back out here, and before I get that second coat of Mesa Red on the set, I am gonna focus on my hardware. I was thinking that I wanted to go 10-inch on all of them like I had said when I was drilling the holes, but then the nightstand drawers were just too small to accommodate for a 10-inch bar. It's buggy. So therefore, I'm gonna be using the T-bars for the nightstands. And unfortunately, the T-bars and the 10-inch poles that I got are not the same color of gold. So I went ahead and I picked up some new spray paint that I'm gonna try out. I've seen some other people use this and it's like just the perfect gold. So I got this at Lowe's. So when you are spraying, you do not want to spray too much. You just wanna go little spurts at a time. Don't want any drips. I like this gold a lot, actually. I'm gonna bring everything together. So we'll definitely have to do more than one coat just to make sure that we got all of it covered. For the most part, I'm really able to tell the color, and I like this gold a lot better. That's gonna dry now, and we're gonna go do coat number 2. All right, here we are. Coat number 2 is going on. All right, I got coat number 2 all finished up here, and we just barely made it with the can of paint. It is almost out, so I'm glad that it stretched until the last second. I did have an extra can just in case because I really wasn't sure the 16 ounce was gonna cover all of this, but you guys, it did in 2 coats. So that just kind of shows you that the melange paint goes a long way. I got 2 coats out of a 16 ounce on 2 nightstands and a pretty good sized dresser. So if you guys are interested, the 16 ounce will take you a long way. Next, I'm gonna do another coat on the hardware while this paint is drying, and then we'll move on to a top coat. All right, coat number 2, here we go. And so for coat number 2, what I'm doing is, I guess essentially it's not the second coat. I'm going under the bottoms here because I didn't get any spray paint on that before, but I just want to get every angle. It's that time of year, you guys. We are racing against the rain. I am going to be using a wax finish. It's a varnish though, and it's a top coat, and it is dead flat. So it's not gonna have any sheen. It's from Polyvine, but I got this off of Melange website. So again, they've got top coats, brushes, etc., other than just paint. So I'm gonna pour some in here because obviously my brush can't fit in there. Pour a little bit in there. Like I've been doing lately with the darker colors, really, I think other than just white, I'll probably continue to do this. I'm gonna add just a little bit of the color of paint here into my top coat, and that will give me just a little bit of color to help eliminate any of those brush stroke marks or anything like that. Perfect. So we basically go from white to kind of just a lighter color of that red. And then I'm gonna be using Zebra brush here, and it's the fan brush. This is like the second time I've been able to use it. I love it. Got it off Melange website too. You guys know how much I love the Zebra brushes. Well, you can get 10% off over there. Let's get going. I always say this, but when you are applying that top coat, you just really want to go nice and slow. Try to get everything evened out. You don't want any of these lines going through. You need to smooth all that out because it will dry lumpy and clumpy, so something that you definitely don't want. You also want to be really careful of any drips happening. Okay guys, looking around, it looks like I'm all finished up here. We're gonna go do one last little bit on the hardware and then we'll be ready to attach it and see what everything looks like when it all comes together. We've got a little company back there, the little bunnies. We're gonna get this last little layer of spray paint on the hardware. Okay, these are looking excellent. I'm gonna get them inside before it starts to rain too hard because the drops are coming. While we're waiting for that last little coat of hardware to dry, we are going to go ahead and put some drawers in. This is still a little bit wet as well, so I'm just gonna be really extra careful, but I'm trying to clear up some room here in the garage. So what a better place to dry than in their places. I'm just gonna roll these on in. We're not gonna roll them all the way in. We'll just leave them out a little bit here to make sure that it doesn't stick. Whew. Okay. It's kind of giving us a little bit of a better look of what this is gonna look like. I'm excited to put that gold on there. I really think that it's going to bring it all together. This is all dry. I'm gonna go ahead and screw in the hardware. Okay guys, so with hardware, it tends to be pretty easy to find the correct screw length, but then you've got to remember that the actual screw holes can differ in sizing. So the screws that came with this obviously fit right in nicely, but they're too long and the other ones are too short. Then we've got another issue. I found one that would be the right length, but then it's too big to go into the screw hole. Therefore, I am going to have to make it to the store and grab some other screws. Unfortunately, I don't have the correct size for these, so that's gonna be our next step. Sometimes you just run into these unfortunate happenings when you really wanna get something done. Of course it happens, but we're gonna get those screws and then we'll go ahead and attach the hardware. We're back with the right screws. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and put the hardware on. You guys, that made it come all together. I was so unsure about this. I keep saying bold, but it's just so unique and like different that I was just so unsure. I'm still obviously unsure about how my market's gonna receive it, but I'm excited to get this posted. The gold really just, like I said, brought it all together. I'm so glad that I ended up adding the hardware. It just gave it that extra dimension and slap of color. I'm gonna get to staging. As I've mentioned before, before with staging. It's not one of my strongest parts of furniture flipping, but yet it is one of the most important parts. So this is where I want to introduce our sponsor for this video, which is Skillshare. With summer coming around, I'm really excited to be able to utilize Skillshare classes to be able to deepen my knowledge and learn about how to stage and style my furniture better. And there is a class that I am super excited to be taking. I am super excited to take a class called Style Your Space by Emily Henderson, and it's really going to give me some creative tips and techniques for interior design, which can carry straight over to styling and staging my furniture. Skillshare is a platform that is specifically for learning, therefore there are no ads, and they always are launching new classes so that you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. I know Neiman's also excited about taking some classes to do with film and video and photography, and they have so many different classes. Skillshare is giving FFT community an awesome opportunity, and they gave us a link that's down below in the description where the first 1,000 subscribers can get a free trial to the premium membership over on Skillshare, where you can learn something new. I know I am gonna be taking some of those Skillshare classes. I'm excited to learn some new things, and I also challenge you guys, FFT community, to click on that link below and check out what they've got over there. I know that there's something for everyone. Learn something new today. We are gonna go ahead and get these listed on Facebook Marketplace. I am thinking that I'm gonna go ahead and price them at $325 for the set. It is a crazy, unique, bold color, but I'm excited to see how my market takes it. Again, they took that green gator set really well, and I think that this is gonna be a winner. I'm excited to see how it goes, and I'll let you guys know. But I listed it at $375, and it sat on there for 4 or 5 days only. And again, with these unique colors, I just have no idea. I had a few people reach out. One said they were gonna go with something different. One never responded. We have actually got someone coming on their way to pick up this Mesa Red set. We got this set for $70, and now we're turning it around and selling it for $375. Step outside of the comfort zone, step outside of your box. This is definitely outside of my box. I love it, but I wasn't sure if anyone else was going to, but apparently that right person found it. I've also got my little sample here, just in case it gets nicked or damaged at any point, but mostly on the way home. That's kind of when I'm most worried about it. The reason I do this is so that they can do any touch-ups, and it's not a lot of paint, but with just little nicks, you don't need a lot of paint. So I just went ahead and put Mesa Red, Melange paints, that way if they're ever trying to color match as well. They mentioned maybe getting a longer dresser too, so we'll see if they are gonna do it themselves or they want me to do it, but that's just another reason why you go that extra step and give them that paint sample. So it is out of here. That 3-piece set we sold for $375. So I just want to go over the numbers with you real quick. I got the set for $70, and then I spent $20 on the paint, and I just barely didn't use an entire 16 ounce. So there was just a little bit left, but I did end up giving them that sample. And then, so that's $20 in. And then with the hardware, it cost me more than $20 to get all of it, the whole package it came in, but for the specific ones that I used, I'm gonna call it $20. So we're $40 in plus the $70, $110. So that is a total profit of $265. She actually asked me if I could go down to $300, and you know, I had some other people interested, and I just wasn't ready to go down. So I stayed firm. Don't just go down because people are asking, will you go lower? So that is $265 toward a down payment on a house for Neiman and I. Today is the last day of school. We We are excited for the summer to be here, to continue inspiring you guys and showing you that you can make a little bit of extra money by simply flipping furniture. We hit 50,000 subscribers. We were actually just thinking back, and the day that we started our channel was November 25th, and we hit 50,000 subscribers on May 24th. That's one day shy of 6 months here on YouTube, and we don't have anyone else to thank other than you, our supporters. We couldn't have done it without you. You guys, when you click that subscribe button down below, that supports us. That allows us to continue making videos. You guys supporting us over on Instagram, your stories of how you've been inspired and your stories of how you've flipped furniture and saved up toward such and such, or paid off debt, or saving up for your own college. This is what keeps us going. Something that we wanted to do for 50,000 subscribers was, instead of a giveaway or anything like that, we want to listen to you guys. Now, we listen to you guys and your comments and such, but we want to continue to create more of what you guys want. Let us know what kind of content you guys want to continue seeing on our channel, or even some new things that you'd like to see on our channel. So leave that comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so excited summer is here. Subscribe down below as well, because we are gonna be continuing releasing videos on Mondays and Thursdays, and who knows, you might even get a surprise video here and there. Follow us over on Instagram at Furniture Flipping Teacher for tons of behind the scenes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and here's to 100K.